Well, that was quite a vintage game. Take that back 10 years, and it was like just a great game for the memories, great game for shot making.
Yeah, that was a 2016-2017 Gushue versus Cooey matchup. It was fun to be part of, but man, oh man, it was frustrating because I felt like we were applying pressure and Kevin was just making pistol after pistol, and he played so well that game, and even some of the shots that he didn't make perfect, I didn't even know we could make him that good. So it was a remarkable game. It was a lot of fun to be part of, and glad we came out on top.
And again, 2-0 after opening weekend, I don't think you could ask for much more out of this first 2 days.
More importantly than that, I like how we're playing. I like how we're communicating. Our draw weight's good. Mark's thrown it as good as I've seen him throw it all year. Brendan's thrown it great. So we're in a good position. It's early in the week though. So again, I said yesterday's only one game. Today it's only 2 games. There's lots of work left.
Brad, you curled 99%. As a team, you curled 94%. For all, I don't know if there was concern, but for all the questions maybe coming into this, what does a game with these numbers signal for the direction of this event?
I think we had a hard marker. I'm not sure where I lost the 1%, to be quite honest. It was good. I like how we're throwing it. That's the biggest part. We're throwing the right weight. We're throwing it, giving every rock a chance to be made, and I'm getting a good read on the ice. Lots of positives. It's good. I could not ask for anything more after 2 games, but I also don't want to get too excited because it is just 2 games, and we've got a lot of really, really good teams left. So, if we play like we played today, we're gonna be tough to beat. So, copy and paste, I guess.
All that said, does that make a statement about your team, do you think? Does it send a message to the rest of the field?
I don't know. There's no attempt to make a message. I think if anybody writes us off with our history, I think they'd be foolish anyway. So it's not necessarily a statement. They know who we are. They know what we're capable of, and we know what they're capable of. So it's really going to come down to whoever plays well come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Right now at this point, you're just trying to get into the playoffs, and that's our main focus.
When we were in Nisku, you talked about maybe being surprised by the emotional toll this farewell season is taking. You're signing autographs. The crowd is overwhelmingly supportive of you. How are you managing this so far, Brad?
So far, it's been really good. I think for me, the intensity and that kind of drive is back that I've been lacking for a while. So, it's when I have that, I'm able to stay in a zone and not worry about too much what's going on outside of that. And so I like where I'm at. And I think that's actually helping my teammates too. So I think it all kind of stems from that intensity and that motivation. And obviously it's a big week. If you're not motivated at the Olympic trials, you're never going to be motivated. So it's nice to see that back. It's nice to have the nerves before the game, and I'm enjoying myself.
John, it's a short round robin, so every win is important. Can you walk us through that one?
Yeah, I mean the field is so tough that every game is very crucial, and you can probably see it in all of us and everybody out there. And when you look at the rankings too of the field coming in, we're starting with 3 of the top probably 3-4 teams in Canada. So it's we know we're running a gauntlet quite early. So any extra win that we can get is great for us, but also good in pushing them down in the standings.
You've been part of this event a few times, but can you compare your confidence level coming into this event compared to maybe some of the past, just given the season that you guys have had?
Yeah, I think really feel like a contender here at this one, and just the way we're playing, I think that's just showing, and but still not trying to throw all that extra added pressure that the Olympic trials can do to you. We're just watching a great shot there. I know, yeah. Kleider just made a heck of a shot for 2. Some more curling.
The emotional roller coaster, John, of this event, how do you make sure you don't get too high and too low depending on whatever side of the win or loss column you are?
Yeah, I think that's just the chatter amongst the team and the entourage that we have with us in Pat and Jim, and just the way we're chatting and communicating. And I think we're doing a great job even so far of making it easy on ourselves and not creating extra emotional grinds and chaos and too high on the intensity level.
To your point about feeling like a competitor, how do you get used to that, or how do you make sense of that, and does that change anything for you approaching these trials?
Yeah, that's one of the best questions I've been asked. I try not to change much. I just feel like everything that has been going on in the last, let's say, 14 months in general, I'm just trying to ride that this week and not add any extra layers to it.
Colton, congratulations. I don't have to tell you that every win is crucial. You're 2-0 to start. Assess the team's performance today.
Yeah, just always kind of stuck with it. We had a bit of a hiccup kind of 2/3 of the way through, and we just kept capitalizing and putting pressure on them and continuing doing what Team Dunstone does.
Maybe a quick word on Team McDonald. You guys have been in battles with them.
Yeah.
They've had your number at times too. What was the approach and the mindset going into this game, knowing that it has been a battle between you two?
To be honest, I think just for us as a team, it doesn't matter who we're playing this week. Just sticking to our process and sticking to what we know how to do best, and going through with that without thinking on who we're playing against.
Colton, 4 years ago, you were kind of thrown into the trials, and it was a whirlwind. Can you just talk about maybe the preparation that you've been able to experience this time and how different it is?
Yeah, it's definitely been. It's nice knowing that I'm coming here already and being able to put in that work to prep for this, and then just all the events that we had prior to this to be where we need to be for this event. And yeah, it's obviously not trying to learn about it the night before and flying next first thing in the morning, but no, it's been good.
Ryan and EJ, obviously, like teammates, mentors, maybe a little bit too. What did they kind of tell you about this experience going in, knowing that they've been there and done that back in 2013?
It's just the constant calmness and resilience that they bring, and it just feeds through each and one of us. And it's a long week, and there's going to be a lot of close games, and just like I said, and that's kind of the main thing with what they bring, just sticking to that process, sticking to know what we know how to do, and trying to perform our best when we're out there.
Colton, how different is this beast of the Olympic trials? I mean, it feels like the margins are so slim out there. The games, obviously, each one of them feel like a playoff game, but how hard is it to win in this thing?
It's very tough. Everybody's bringing their best, and that's and you're expecting that too. Like every game's going to be close, and that's the mentality you have to have going into each and every game, and just putting our foot down and trying to do what we can.
All right, Brad, you've been pushed so far, and you responded greatly on your last rock. Take us through it and how nice it is to escape with this extra end win.
Yeah, Clayton and the boys played us tough. They played great. That was a great test for us, and that's how we expect this entire week to go. You know, we're all used to this, and I'm used to this. It's not a lot of teams play bad against Team Jacobs. It's been going on for about 12 years, and it's great. And so, yeah, nice to get that extra end win and be 1-1.
What was the conversation like after the opening loss, and how did you make sure you didn't get too wrapped up in the emotion of all of that? Because you would have been ready to go, and you would have wanted to start with a win. So how did you deal with that?
Yeah, good question. Well, after I took a little bit of time to myself, we met up. We had some pizza, and I basically, apologized to the guys and said that loss was entirely on me. And you can't throw 60 to 70% of your shots heavy from the 8th end to the 10th end and think you're going to win. And that's what happened. I was just not good in that first game. But you know what? Sometimes those types of losses can be the best thing for you. You just never know.
How important is that accountability to have on such a tight-knit team?
Well, I mean, if you're a leader in any capacity, especially on a sports team, I think that your guys or gals respect you a lot if you're accountable, if you're aware, if you can admit when you've done something wrong, or whatever the case might be. And I've certainly, I think I've always been like that, or I've been like that a lot of my career, especially in the last 10 or so years. And yeah, I was just upset with myself, really. I can play a lot better than that. I work very, very hard at the game in all the right ways. And that just wasn't acceptable for my standards. And you know what, bounced back, played a great game, and that's kind of what I expected.
To your point about maybe having a target and people raising their level of play against you, what is it about you, Brad Jacobs, specifically, that you think people might want to take you down or bring their best?
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's felt like that for a long time, though. I think that we are a team, and I'm probably a skip that kind of brings out the best in the opponent, and they want to prove themselves. They want to, go up against the best and test themselves and see where they stand. I remember being that way when I was younger. Especially the younger guys out here. They're really hungry to play against us. I think super excited and motivated to play against us and hungry. And I can relate. So it's we expect that against the young McDonald team coming up, and Epping's young guys, the Northern Ontario boys. They're gonna want to beat us, and so is every other single team here. I don't blame them.
Your evaluation so far, 2 games in, of how the team is playing as a unit.
How we're playing as a unit, just lots of room for improvement. Lots of room for improvement. We know what it takes to win this thing, and what it takes is your absolute best, the best version of yourself, doing the best job you can at your position. And the reality of it is, if you want to win this week, you got to curl probably 92, 93% most of the week, and especially at the end of the week when it matters the most. And that's our goal. That's what we're here to try to do.